Yep.
There are many ways in which you can experience a past life regression. It really is. So you could use, for example, your senses. You might see things, but most people actually don't. But that's how past life regression is portrayed. It's going to be like a movie scene for you. It probably isn't, but your senses will come alive. You may hear something like the tolling of a bell. You may feel something like a cool wind could blow past you. You might be able to taste something or smell something or simply sense something. So it may not be the sense of seeing that will be focused upon for you. So it could be a mixture of both as well. You might hear something, sense some things, glimpse something. It may be a mixture of the senses. So it's not as dramatic as some people make out. Okay, so that's how you will experience different things. The other thing is, the first question that I'm going to ask you is going to be, what are you wearing on your feet? This is because it grounds you into the past life. I get you to look down, and then I get you to look up and describe to me what you're wearing, and then we look out. Okay, so that's one thing we do. I'm going to not give you leading questions. So a leading question would be, do you feel cold? I'm already suggesting to you, you may feel cold. Instead of questioning like that, I'm simply going to ask, what's the weather like? Do you see what I mean?
Yep.
Unless you say something, I'm not going to give a leading question. That's where I've noticed on a lot of regressions that I've heard, people have just misled people into something. Yes, I feel cold. It's called the suggestion.
Mm.
And so that's what we're going to try to avoid, that at all costs. Now, when you go into a regression, you may want to loosen any tight clothing. You may want to have a blanket to hand because your temperature may drop. Don't be concerned if your stomach starts to gurgle. That's a sign of your whole system relaxing. And again, don't be concerned if you gulp a lot. That's an unconscious, involuntary action, and are all indications that you're actually being relaxed into what's called the long induction script, which is what most regression therapists actually use to regress you.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Right.
I mean, as well, Paul, the soul in the theory of things doesn't really give any information that you in this incarnation can't handle. That's very, very unlikely. I could, during some point in the regression, ask what, if you wanted to, the advice your soul gives you for this incarnation at this moment in time. I could ask that. And I could ask, who in this incarnation have you met before? If it's appropriate, I could ask those questions. Now, one thing in the induction script that you'll be experiencing is called the healing room. Now, a healing room is placed into a past life regression because worst case scenario, let's say you're at the point where you're going to be beaten up or something traumatic is going to happen to you. As a responsible regression therapist, I can take you immediately back into the healing room where we can breathe in light, we can be calm, and we can be safe. So it's called the healing room aspect of past life regression. And it's a really pleasant experience. So that's also something that is woven into the script for your safety, for your comfort, and a place where you can feel safe.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, do you have any questions?
No, not really. Other than I've had no experience of being past life regressed or being hypnotized before. I've come into it with a very open mind. Um, I've often wondered, how do you know if you're experiencing a personal past life regression as opposed to tapping into like collective consciousness, the Akashic records? How can you tell?
That is a really good question, and one that has been asked many times before by many different psychotherapists that have gone into past life regression. And to be honest, Paul, you don't know. Because, for example, this was when I was being trained as a past life regression therapist. It was really interesting because I was regressed back to the Vietnam War, but I was born at that time when there was the Vietnam War. So, but I was describing things very clearly that I could see. So was I tapping into somebody else's past life? Was I seeing something that happened on planet Earth? That is a possibility. And sometimes people have inner earth experiences, elemental experiences, off-planet experiences. So it's very difficult to categorize what has actually happened. But normally what it means is it's meaningful for you in this incarnation. There's going to be some golden thread that will add meaning to this incarnation.
Brilliant. Okay.
So are you happy to go ahead with this?
Yeah, I'm going to have to close the window. I've just noticed the window open. It's a busy time.
You get ready, and that's the main thing, getting you nice and comfortable. Okay, as long as you can hear me, that's the main thing, okay?
Yeah.
The other thing is, if at any time you want this to stop for whatever reasons, it could be something really pragmatic, like I want to go to the loo now, I can't wait, you know, just put your hand up like that so I can see it, and then I can bring you back round and into the room. So you have full control over this regression at any moment in time. So that's very important, that you feel in control, rather than, you know, I'm going to be constantly leading you. So what we can do in a moment is I'm going to begin the regression. That's probably, the induction's probably going to last for 20 to 30 minutes in the ideal way. If you can't get to a past life regression and you feel nothing is happening, you tell me that, because once we go into what's called the mists of time, and you'll hear me say that, when you sense anything, hear anything, feel anything, see anything, then you start to describe that to me, okay? It's a process that on the one hand, you feel very relaxed, or you should feel very relaxed, but on the other hand, you're still very aware. Regression has that kind of uneasy combination sometimes, but for some people, it's really easy to convey information whilst feeling relaxed. So that's something, again, just to be aware of.
Brilliant. Okay.
Okay. So are you happy to go ahead?
Yep.
Okay. Well, just simply close your eyes. Get as comfortable as you can, making sure your legs are uncrossed and your hands and your arms feel comfortable.
Okay.
And just take a nice deep breath. As soon as your inner mind knows that you can relax sufficiently to review lives that you lived before this one, you'll find yourself getting just a little bit more comfortable. That's right. Beginning to relax. Want you to focus now on taking a few deep breaths in your own way and in your own time. Now relax everything below your feet. Imagine now that your ankles are becoming a little bit more relaxed and your toes are becoming more relaxed. Just focus on the ankles and the toes beginning to relax. And allow that relaxation feeling to come up towards the knees. Everything below your knees beginning to relax. And let that relaxation feeling rise up towards the hips. And just let your hips droop as best as you can in a relaxed way. That's right. Hips, knees, ankles, feet, toes, beginning to feel relaxed. And now let that relaxation feeling come up towards the chest area. Letting the chest just relax as best as you can, whilst focusing on breathing in and out in your own way and in your own time. In the chest area, relaxing as best as you can as you continue to listen to the sound of my voice as you begin to relax slowly and surely as you focus upon the chest area, relaxing with growing feelings of comfort and security. And now let that relaxation feeling come up over your shoulders and feel that temperature that you really like to enjoy go all the way down your shoulders now. That temperature you really like to enjoy. Let that feeling, let that temperature go all the way across your shoulders now. That's right. Feeling that temperature you really like to enjoy. And let that feeling go all down into the elbow area, beginning to relax with that temperature you really like to enjoy going all the way down to the elbows. Relaxing you, calming you, more relaxed than before. And let that sensation go all the way down your arms and into your fingers. Relaxing your fingers, allowing them to find their comfort zone, wherever that may be. And now allow that feeling of relaxation to come up through the fingers, going up the forearms, relaxing you even more, going up through the elbows, up through the top of the arms, and all the way around the back of your shoulders, allowing your shoulders to relax and pushing out doubt, pushing out negativity as you breathe the way that you want to and start to relax the shoulders now more relaxed than before. That's right, more relaxed than before. Now let that relaxation feeling come all the way up into the neck area, rising up towards the neck area. Let that relaxation feeling go round the back of the neck, relaxing you, calming you. And let that relaxation feeling come up through the throat area and go all the way underneath the eyes, relaxing all of those tiny little muscles underneath your eyes and letting them just flow down into relaxation, however that is for you. Just let those muscles under your eyes relax as you carry on listening to the sound of my voice beginning to relax and letting those tiny muscles relax further as you continue to breathe in and out in your own way and in your own time. That's right, tiny muscles underneath the eyes beginning to relax slowly and gently into relaxation. In a moment, I want you to visualize a staircase that has 10 steps. It can be anything you want it to be. It can be a smooth wooden banister that leads you down 10 steps. Anything you want it to be. It is safe and it is sturdy and it is strong, and that's easy to imagine. And you're standing on the top step. In a moment, we're going to walk down those steps. And with each step that you take, you'll become more and more relaxed. Just carry on listening to the sound of my voice as you take another deep breath, breathing in and out any way you choose to do. You're standing on top of the staircase now with the 10 steps below. Go down now, down to the 9th step. And with each step that you take, you'll go more and more into relaxation. That's right. Step down, down to the 8th step, down to the 7th step, and down, down to the 8th. And now we're going to take a nice deep breath as we've gone down a little bit further. We're going to go down even more now, and we're going to go down, down to the 7th step and down to the 6th. That's right. And down to the 5th, and down to the 4th. And let's now take a deep breath as we go down further to the 3rd, the 2nd, the 1st. That's right, going down deeper than before, with numbers that can change, with numbers that can lead you into relaxation. No need to think, no need to do anything. Just relax further and further into relaxation. In a moment, I'm going to count from the number 5 to 1. And as I count, which can be any way, you'll go further into deep relaxation. I'm going to start counting now. 5, 4, 3, 2, going down into deep relaxation. 1. In a moment, we're going to visualize a door. The door will be in front of you. It can be, again, anything you want it to be. And from that door, just beneath the bottom part, imagine that you can see some light, some beautiful iridescent light sparkling. Light is behind the door. We'll just carry on listening to the sound of my voice as you continue to breathe in and out. That's right. Want you to open the door now. And as you open the door, step into the room. It's a room of light, beautiful iridescent light, and the light is all around you now. Imagine it's safe and swirling. You're in a room of healing light. In this room of healing light and in a sanctuary, you can place any objects that you want to. It could be something of sentimental value. It could be something living like a tree. You can place anything into this room you choose because it's your healing space, your inner sanctuary, a sacred space where there is always light. And now breathe in the light. Breathe in that beautiful white light. Take some really big breaths. And on the in-breath, breathe in. And on the out-breath, imagine that beautiful white light is going all the way down to the cellular level within you. That's right. Breathe it in. And on the out-breath, imagine this going all the way down into your body, pushing out doubt, pushing out negativity, breathing in the light in your healing room, and breathing it in and out. That's right. Keep on breathing the light in and the light out. The light in and the light out. And with each breath that you take of this white light, it can be very healing. You may see the colors like gold, a rosy color, light green, all in the light of your healing room. And breathe in the light all the way down into the body to the cellular level can be visualized, and breathe it in and breathe it out and in and out. Now I want you to take a really nice deep breath that allows you to breathe the light in, and then on the out breath to push it out. So even more light seems to swirl around you, a bit like an aura. Breathe the light in, and on the out breath, push the light out so it surrounds you, a bit like an aura. And carry on doing that so that it's all around your body. And I'm going to give you a few moments to enjoy that, to breathe in the white light, all the colors that you choose, and then to place it around your aura easily, sensing the healing and clearing in the light. That's right, just carry on breathing in the light and building it up all around you so that you are covered from the top of your head all the way around by the shoulders, coming down the forearms. That's right, into the fingers, around the fingers, and going down the body, covering the chest and the legs and the feet and the back, 360 degrees all around. surrounded by the light. That's right. The light all around you, which can serve to illuminate what you will see or hear, sense. The light will stay with you, like the aura around you, and it can illuminate any senses you have, anything you hear, anything you feel, anything you taste, see, sense, to understand. And just carry on listening to the sound of my voice as you relax with all the light around you in your room of healing light. That's right. I'm going to breathe in and out, relaxing, calming, and carrying on listening to the sound of my voice as you focus on the light surrounding you with growing feelings of comfort and security in this safe inner sanctuary of yours, a healing space, a sacred space. In a moment, we're going to visualize another door, but that door is closed at this moment. The door is closed. But beyond that door is the door of time, all the time that ever was. And we can walk through this time when we open the door, but the door is closed. And when you do walk through the mists of time, all the time that ever was, you'll find that a memory of a life that you lived before this one will come to your mind in its own way and in its own time. And you'll give me a commentary telling me what you see, hear, sense, feel, see, touch. Just carry on listening to the sound of my voice as you relax in your room of light. relaxing, and breathing in the healing energy of the light. It's going to push out doubt, push out negativity, clearing you, illuminating the way of that which will come to you in its own way through the mist of time when we decide to open the door of time. Let's take a nice relaxing breath, breathing in and out. As you carry on listening to the sound of my voice with growing feelings of comfort in the light of your healing room. Now I want you to visualize a door. Again, it can be anything you want it to be. Could be an oak door, could be a glass door, it could be a painted door. Anything you want to create. It could be a carved door with beautiful symbols, with shapes, anything you want it to be. Have a look at the door now and see what you want to create on the door. There could be symbols, crystals, light, anything you want to create on the door. Imagine now that you can open this door. Open the door, and from the door comes more light, a kind of misty light. Just sense or visualize a misty light rolling gently with ease. The mists of time, all the time that ever was. And slowly and surely just walk through the gentle swirling mists of time. And when your feet find a memory of a life that you lived before this one, they will simply stop. And a memory will come to your mind in its own way, own expression, own words, and own way. I'm going to let you walk now. I'm going to let you walk through the mists of time, and when your feet find a memory of a life that you lived before this one, they will simply stop. And then you can relay what you hear, feel, taste, sense, or see, or touch. Walk now gently through the swirling mists of time. That's right. Walk through the mists of time and see the swirling mist beneath your feet gently rising up as you walk through the mists of time. When your feet find a memory of the life that you lived before this one, they will automatically stop. You'll sense, or see, or hear, or feel expressions, sensations, and memory of a life that you lived before this one. And if you do, you can convey any information to me in your own way and in your own time. And what's happening? That's right. Tell me what you're experiencing, whatever it is.
I think I keep getting glimpses of mud and soldiers and bombs.
And look down. Tell me if you're wearing anything on your feet.
Black boots.
And now look up and tell me what else that you are wearing.
Beige, greeny uniform.
Is there anyone else around you at all?
Several soldiers. A lot of shouting. A lot of smoke in the air. A lot of panic.
How old do you feel?
Um, I'm in my 20s, I think.
How old are the people that surround you?
The same age. Some might be older.
Do you know any of their names?
No, I don't think so.
Do you have a role?
I'm trying to stay alive.
How long have you been there?
Not long.
What can you hear?
Shouting, panic, bombs, gunfire. You can smell the fire.
Describe to me your surroundings.
It's very grey. The sky is grey. There's a lot of mud, wet mud. The sky almost looks sulphury. I'm getting a very strong sense of, I can smell a fiery sort of smell.
What language do you speak? Or hear?
It's hard to detect because it's all shouting and there's bombs going off and I can't really hear the words.
Do you know the name of any ruler or king or queen or politician?
King George.
How did you get to where you are now?
I signed up.
Do you know the name of the place where you left?
Signed up with friends together. We joined together.
Are they with you now?
No, I don't think so. We were very excited to join up. We were considered heroes to join up.
Is there anyone in control that gives you orders where you are now?
I can hear someone shouting orders, but I can't hear the words clearly. And all I can hear is gunfire. Intense gunfire. I'm crouching down on the ground, lying on the ground on my front, with my hands on my head.
And what are the other people doing around you? Can you see that?
No, I'm just concentrating on staying alive. I can't see the enemy. I'm looking up at a hill and I can't see beyond it, and that's where I think there's some fire coming from the side as well.
Staying with that memory. Go ahead in time, one day, and tell me what you experience.
Things are calmer. We're not fighting anymore.
What's happened?
I think we've reached where we were meant to go. We're in some sort of barracks. And I feel a lot calmer.
And what's happening in the barracks?
We're eating a meal.
What are you eating?
Soup and bread. I'm starving.
Who's around you?
Lots of people, lots of soldiers all sitting at tables.
Do you know where you are?
In a disused building with windows. Could be some sort of farmhouse. I think the mood is pretty somber.
Why is the mood pretty somber?
I have a feeling that's the first time my unit experienced heavy fire, being under heavy fire. And it's like a wake-up call. This is where we are.
Good. That's good. Once again, staying with that memory, move on one day and tell me what you experience or sense.
I can't because I don't want to leave where I am.
Okay, that's fine. Stay where you are if that's what you want to do. And just convey to me how you're feeling, the other people around you.
Relief. Safe. I'm really enjoying some soup. It's a mixture of somberness and relief.
Have you heard of any plans that might have been spoken about after you've had the meal of the soup?
No. No, it's late in the afternoon, I think, and I can't seem to go beyond where I am.
That's okay. That's good. Do you feel connected to anyone else in the room?
Not anymore.
Was there anyone that you recognized in the room through a sense of knowing them?
Not really, no. I'm not sensing that. I do feel like I've gone very inward. I'm with my own thoughts on what's happened.
And what are your own thoughts on what's happened?
Well, I'm very lucky to be alive. And I'm worried that I won't make it out of the fighting. I can't seem to go beyond where I am.
That's okay. So staying where you are with the soup and with the possible farmhouse that you're in. Have a knowing that this memory has a meaningful aspect to you. And stay, if you can, just for one moment with the best virtue that you think is associated with that memory. It could be anything. It just could be the feeling of relief,
Survival.
survival.
That's all there is.
And is there anything that you think that you could learn from that incarnation other than survival that would be of merit for any incarnation such as the one you have?
I just feel very depressed rather than scared.
Yes, that's understandable. And staying with this memory at this moment in time, have a look around the people, the place. Just have a sense of a connection with that experience and memory of survival. And knowing that you have got there through the day before and that series of events. And in that, despite what's gone on, there's a sense of relief. And do you want to move ahead in time, or do you want to remain where you are now?
I don't know, I seem to be very comfortable where I am.
Okay, that's good.
Particularly want the adventure to continue in this incarnation.
No, that's okay. We'll stay momentarily where we are and just have a good look around now in this moment in time, just to see what people may be wearing, the colour of their hair, the style of their hair, the style of their clothes or shoes. So I'm just going to let you look around in a sense of relief and safety for the time being, and just make a note in your mind how people look.
Everyone's wearing uniform, army uniform. Some people have got slings around their arms, eye patches, blood-stained bandages. But things seem very calm, albeit slightly morose.
You've chosen not to go forward in time, and that's a good wish. Do you want to stay here, or would you like to return to the healing room?
I'm okay where I am. I want to see what happens,
Okay,
but
that's good.
I'm struggling to get there.
That's okay. Just pay attention to the walls, to what's around you, maybe even what you're sitting on. What's the style of the chair?
It's rectangular wooden tables. I think I'm sitting on a bench. I think I can feel more nervous energy now as well. I think I'm very young and I was very gung-ho, and now I'm realising it's a nightmare.
Yes, that's understandable, given the set of circumstances. Just anchor yourself into where you want to be at this moment in time. Observe rather than feel, and look around.
There's high ceilings, like a barn, high windows, grey sky, grey clouds through the windows, nothing else. I think there's probably about 30 or 40 people in the room.
Do you know where?
Do I know where, sorry? Where?
You know where you are?
Farmland.
Do you know what country you're in?
France. I'm sort of sinking into myself now and I'm observing my feelings more, I think.
Yes, observe. Not you don't have to feel. You can observe and look at careful details and how other people are behaving. Almost like being inside but outside of yourself, so that you observe critically and accurately.
We're on a farm. It's deserted other than soldiers. There are some small groups of soldiers outside talking, injured.
Do you know?
I think I'm keeping myself to myself.
Okay.
I
Has anybody said your name?
don't think so.
Okay.
I'm getting Henry for some reason. I don't know why.
Okay.
I think I'm coming to the realisation that I'm willing myself to try and overcome my fear and trying to stay focused on the reasons why I'm there. For freedom.
That's good. Is there anything else you're feeling?
Cold. It's cold. You can see your breath in front of your face.
How do you think the others are feeling? Similar to yourself, or have you learnt from somebody that's been around you?
I think most are either injured or I can tell they're traumatised, but there are one or two people outside the barn. I can hear them having a laugh. I think it's very cold and I want to go home. And I think we're getting ready to march. Well, I'm really cold, dirty, snotty nose. And I know there's soldiers around me, but I don't feel like I'm interacting with any of them.
That's okay.
The sky's now a dark grey as opposed to a light grey. And it's very quiet. Complete contrast to what happened before.
Yes.
I think we're marching to a village.
What can you see?
Cobbled street, old stone buildings, some sort of light or lights. The air smells really fresh. I get the feeling I'm just about clinging onto my sanity. I don't want to be where I am.
No. What time of the day does it feel?
Sorry?
What time of the day does it feel?
It's becoming night. It's quite dark, very cold. I can see little fire lamps. And I think we're staying in the village.
And whereabouts in the village will you stay?
I think I'm in a large room again. And I think I'm sleeping on the floor with blankets, grey blanket. I feel like I'm covered in mud and like black smoke. I can still hear the gunfire. I've got a headache. And it's completely pitch black now and I'm sleeping. And I can hear a soldier crying. And I don't care anymore. I'm just going to sleep.
And you want to stay with this memory?
I sort of do, but I'm stuck in the moment.
Yes.
I don't think I leave because my eyes are shut. I'm on my side and I'm just want to go to sleep.
Mm. Do you want to move ahead one day?
I just feel, now I'm feeling very proud that I've come through it.
That's good.
I would like to continue, but I can't go beyond feeling really comfortable and just wanting to sleep.
That's okay. Do you feel ready to go back to the healing room?
I can, but I get a sense that I like who I am.
It's what you want to do. You tell me if you want to stay here a little bit longer or go to the healing room.
Okay, we'll go back.
For one moment, we're going to stay with that memory of where you were, how you observed things, and thank that memory, that moment in time, in its recall. Now I want you to imagine or visualize or simply sense you turn away 180 degrees. Just imagine now that you're walking back to a door. It can be anything you want it to be again. And you can open that door, and from that doorway comes a stream of white light, just like before, that you experienced in the sanctuary of the healing room. White light all around you, all around you. And you can breathe in a couple of deep breaths of the white light, all the way once again to the cellular level, breathing in the white light, flushing out negativity, breathing in the white light, flushing out any negativity, and just feeling calm, and secure. Now I want you to sense or imagine that you can hear the door of time click closed or be shut closed. And tell me when you hear that, or I can do that.
I've heard it already.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Just take a couple more deep breaths in the healing room. That's right. Couple more breaths. That's all. And now I want you to imagine that door is closed as well. And tell me when you hear that click, or I can do that.
Yep.
Good. That's good. Okay, in a moment, I'm going to count from the number 1 to 5, in that order this time. 1 to 5. And when I reach the number 5, you will come back into the room feeling calm and positive about what you've experienced. I'm going to start counting now. 1, 2, 3, 4, coming back up. 5, feeling fine. And when you feel ready, simply open your eyes.
Oh my God, I'm sitting in the dark. Whew.
We got a lot of detail, fine detail from that, Paul. So that was like a good window in time where you had a lot of feelings. But before we kind of go and discuss that, I think the real positive message of that was, which you said in your own words, was a willing to overcome fear, stay focused for freedom, but a willing to come over fear and staying focused and being proud that you overcome all of those feelings. So I think that's something really powerful to anchor from that experience. And how do you feel about the experience?
I do feel as though that's something I've experienced, but I think that, I don't know, I feel like I was kind of filling in the blanks with my own mind to create a better picture.
Well, a lot of people do feel that actually. So that's a common feeling that people have. I mean, the one thing that you did say was the smell factor for you. The smell of the fire, the smell of the things around you. So that's not in filling with what you're seeing. That was another sense. Do you see what I mean? You smelt that. So that kind of, when we feel that we're seeing things, that's quite often backed up with another sense. Now, if that wasn't backed up with another sense, and I would say yes, that's probably seeing. But at the same time, your senses were crossing over, and you were doing that, automatically by yourself. And you said that several times. Smell the fire. And a sense of a fiery smell. You repeated that. Shouting, that's your hearing coming in. Shouting, can't hear. You probably said you thought it was King George. So there, do you see what I'm saying? They've got a crossover now of different senses of hearing, smelling, as well as seeing. And it's the seeing side that we tend to fill in, not the hearing or the smell.
I think it was a deep trauma experience. That's what I experienced, was deep trauma, and I only started to deal with it when I was going to sleep in that room. with the blanket over me. But yeah, it was. I remember just lying down on the ground because all I could hear was just machine gun fire.
Mm. And in this incarnation, Paul, have you been estranged from anyone? Felt, left alone, or, estranged in any way?
In a sense, yes. In a sense, I would say that I don't have a very strong connection with the vast majority of my family.
That's often the case with a war experience, where you're taken away from the sense of security that a family offers and are put into that. That's why I asked if you were estranged, because sometimes this follows on in incarnations, where you tend to have an incarnation possibly with the parents that it's said that you choose, and you choose that, and then something happens that's traumatic, where there's an estrangement, and then there's a kind of situation where you feel that you're fighting for something. It's almost like it's a kind of, I've had this time and again with this sort of set of circumstances. So it's about learning from this experience. And like I say, I think for you, it was about that sense of freedom and having the proudness, the sense of survival, which you said, and which for me, which was the real one, which I've said already, was willing to overcome fear and stay focused. I mean, if there's anything that the soul can kind of teach us to overcome fear, and you did in that past life, because I remember you saying that, and I was thinking, I wonder what is going to happen next. I wonder if you'll overcome it or not, because that's where my mind goes as the regression therapist. And then you said you were going to sleep and you felt that you'd overcome it.
Yes, there was just a lot of sense of relief at that moment in time, and I just wanted to go to sleep and forget about everything. It was very real at times. It was very real, and I know that it was me that was experiencing that. It wasn't me somewhere else, or it wasn't another person that I was experiencing. It was definitely me. It was me. I knew it was me. It felt like me, So yeah, very, very interesting experience.
And
I'm still shaking a little bit. Yeah.
You'll find that, and what you may find, Paul, is your dreams may become a little bit more sporadic or intense over the next couple of days. Don't be concerned. That's quite common. Try to stay up, because you've had a past life of conflict and trauma. I would suggest that, if one can in one's life over the next couple of days, just take it easy, be around positive people, you see what I mean, and avoid any trauma as best as one can. Life is life. And you also, when I asked, did you have a sense of a name, you came up with the name Henry.
Yeah. Not that I heard my name called at all. I just felt that very briefly. So I don't know.
Yes. But what I liked about this past life regression was the detail, the color of the blanket being gray that you were sleeping on the floor with, the sense of being muddy and dirty and just feeling almost like at a rock bottom, but overcoming that as well. And the soldier crying. All of these are kind of details where you were hearing things, sensing things probably at the same time, but also feeling things like the blanket, the comfort, the hot soup after being tired. They're feeling sides that came through as well. Now, if it was somebody just constantly describing something, let's say that, just an analogy, I'm a Roman and I'm wearing a toga and I'm seeing this and I'm seeing that, and this is that's there, I can see this. That's when you start to think there's no crossover of the senses, and that doesn't happen in past life regression proper, or indeed life.
Yeah, it wasn't like a linear experience as such. I can just remember looking up at this big muddy hill and almost being rooted. I don't know why, whether it was fear or what, I don't know. Being under heavy fire and then just literally just lying on the ground, head that with my hands over my head, and then the next thing I know, I'm marching with an army.
Again, in past life regression, that's really good that it's slightly fragmented.
Mm,
Because again, if you were just constantly describing, I'm by a pool of water, I'm eating grapes, I see this, I see that, it's not fragmented. And
mm,
quite often, past lives do come in like sections. And then it could be, and you don't need to join the dots. That's what the soul memory is. And it's in those like smaller section, bite sizes, so to
mm,
speak, is very, very common with past life regression.
mm. Yeah. Yeah, it was an amazing experience, definitely. I'm not particularly good at visualizing things anyway, as such, So it did feel very, very real. I felt the fear, which is why I'm still shaking. Um, it was very, very emotional. I was very conscious of not displaying my emotions, trying to keep it to myself, and being just very young and inexperienced, didn't know really what I was doing. Yeah, so thanks for that, Maria. Cheers.
Oh, well. You live to fight another day, though, Paul. Live to fight
Yeah,
another day.
yeah, brilliant.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad that you had an experience. Like I say, if you can, just, have a comfortable evening and maybe have a reflect upon that. Take away the positive, overcoming fear and being proud of all of that. And then going through from a state of fear to that fear, that sense of calm despite the chaos.
Mm,
Now that is something really to anchor in. So I would say, go with that. And I'm glad that you had an experience and that it was what your soul wanted to hear. At the end of the day, Paul, is what your soul wanted you to hear at this moment in time. So I'm in gratitude of that.
yeah, your summing up of it earlier made a lot of sense to me. I think that particular what I just experienced is definitely connected to my current situation, and I've also just noticed the time. So I've looked at the time, and we're nearly 1 hour 30 minutes in, and it feels like about 10 minutes.
That is, again, that's very common how timelines seem to change. And the thing about regression as well, to get you under, you kind of play around with numbers, or you can play around with scenery. It all serves to get you away from the timeline that you're on. Do you see what I mean? Away from the timeline. So some people add a confusion thing in, and then somebody's not thinking, and then that's how the whole kind of things work out. So yes, so it is. Everybody says that.
Brilliant. Yeah.
You
It is.
still
It's so weird because like my chest is like really tight, like when you really feel fear, and even now I don't know how long I've been out of the regression, but I can still feel really just like stiffness in my chest and
Yeah, that's where, if you do feel any trauma coming, go back into the healing room which you created and just breathe in the white light that you experienced when you were in that healing room, and just go back into that calm space, because the whole idea of the healing room is not just for that moment in time. We can go back there any time in our lives, in the future, in the present, in the future rather, and experience that kind of breathing in the light, pushing the light out, building it around us. And that can be quite a comfort for some. If not, you can take things like rescue remedy, or literally just have a salt bath if you've got any Epsom salts or anything like that. That's always very comforting. And like I say, really just after regression, it's about taking it easy and having a reflection. And you might find yourself, I think I've done a little bit of a golden thread for you, thinking of the estrangement, the benefits of coming out. But you yourself might start joining a few dots.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Definitely.
And
I'm very, very grateful for the experience. Thank you very much.
that's well, you're more than welcome. And if you need to contact me again, Paul, about something, if something comes up, just drop me a line, and I'll be able to help out with anything. But because it ended from fear into overcoming no matter what, I think you're on quite firm ground. Okay. But nonetheless, I will be here, and and hope that, like I say, you'll take away something positive from this.
I definitely will. Thank you very much, Maria. Cheers.
You're welcome. Catch up with you soon, Paul.
Will do.
Cheerio.
See ya.
Bye.